The first thing that I want to start off this recording talking about is the importance of being aware of political context. So, thinking about um, this question and the issue of sex and gender in sports is something that is highly controversial at the moment. So, it's attracted a lot of recent attention, especially with relation to transgender people in sports and how they should be treated in sporting contexts. So I suspect this is part of the reason why the people who are running the John Locke essay competition have chosen this topic, because it seems like in the past they have been inclined to choose topics which are current and contemporary and perhaps a bit controversial to try and get people interested. So one of the things that I want to say is that controversy is nothing to shy away from. So one of the bad things to do would be to not choose this topic or not write about it for fear of saying the wrong thing, or getting it wrong. I think that it's important to investigate controversial topics rather than to be afraid of them. We shouldn't be doing that. And it's also worth noting that controversy, and especially political controversy, can yield important philosophical insights, because often when there's something politically controversial, there's something philosophical that's kind of hiding underneath the surface that's really interesting. So with that kind of caveat out of the way, investigating controversial and contentious topics is very important. But because there's been so much written about this recently, especially in the press, and on social media, there's a lot of sources that are out there which which may not be sufficiently academic. And so, as a warning, I would suggest people just be very careful about the provenance of their sources. Look at where your articles are coming from, and whether people might have any bias in promoting the view that they promote. Instead, we want to be trying to focus on the arguments themselves. So often, people who are writing with a philosophical mindset, within a philosophical context, are going to be better resources to look at. So after that kind of introductory caveat that's unique to this question, we're going to move on to some kind of general advice for how to approach questions in the essay competition. So first thing I want to say is that this is a 2,000 word cap in this essay. So 2,000 words is not very many. A lot of the essay questions that I used to do while I was at university would be 3,000-4,000 words, and at times that still didn't even feel like much. And these questions are very broad as well. So one of the things that is important to be aware of is that the main advantage that you can get in these kinds of questions will come from content selection and making points effectively and efficiently. So it's important to realize that this when doing your research. So you can do a lot of reading, but beyond a certain point, if you know the literature inside and out, you won't be able to put all of that in your essay.